Objective Fan. The Objective Fan.
Former coach of Knicks rookie says that he is a sharpshooting marvel. The one concern that the Knicks should have with Cat coming into the season, and Carmelo Anthony, former Knick, says there's no such thing as the back end. And of course, our flagship topic, the New York Knicks need to beware of the double agents, the championship double agents. And OG Anunoby, the one beloved Knick that everyone adores, he has one area of his game that he should be looking to improve for this upcoming season. And I got a free agent big man that nobody's talking about. Should the Knicks give this brother a shot? And Leon Rose, could his lag in terms of completing free agency deals be a stroke of genius? So listen, man, we're going to talk about that tonight on this level, on this episode of Level Headed Knicks Talk. If you don't know, I'm your host, Karan Pierre, the Objective Fan, and I'm straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. Man, you know the vibes. Tell a friend that we live, man. Ayy. Listen, I want to get right into it. But before we begin, we do have to address the proper formality. We have to smash that like button. So as you enter the show, let's smash that like button so we can let the YouTube algorithm know that this is the place to be. And we're still cooking with hot grease. And while you're at it, you might as well subscribe, because half of you guys who watched in the last 28 days, you're not subscribed. So subscribe now and help us close the gap. We're on the road to 10K subs, and each time we do reach new subscriber milestones, we do have special giveaways. And the next is you got to subscribe to now. I don't want to tell you just yet, but we will have another giveaway. I'm keeping it under wraps. We recently just gave away a rookie Jalen Brunson trading card. All right, salute to my man Jet Life. All right. But you have to subscribe and smash that bell icon so you'll be able to check out the next giveaway, man. But big time salute to everybody in the building. Of course, we got the New York edition to the 82 Nights available for pre-orders. If you are interested, all you have to do is check out my link tree. That link is pinned in the chat. At the moment, it comes with free shipping, but we'll talk more about that a little bit later. What's going on, Darlene? Salute to Joseph in the building. All right. Marie, I see you. Quest ENT, what's up? Reborn in Christ, what's good? Uh-oh. Hey, Reborn in Christ. He said that he watched the clips from the Smoke Fire show. After the Game 3 loss to Atlanta. Hey, listen, I think we're going to do a members only Sunday on that. Because the level of panic from you guys, man. Salute to Super J, OKF Nation. All right. Big time salute to, who else we got? Coach Malpika, OKF Nation. I see you. All right, man. And Zach, OKF Nation, man. Welcome to the show. Trapped in the 90s. What's going on? Continue to smash that like button. Yo, man, we just had a very, very fun, exciting members only Sunday. We talked about Damn, I just had a. I'm drawing a blank. LeBron, yeah, we talked about LeBron. Yeah, that's why I was drawing. That's what I was drawing a blank. But we also talked about football, all types of stuff, man. Salute to the channel members that participated. We do this every Sunday. So if you are a channel member, you need to make sure you're there in the building. It's a lot of shows I want to talk about Frank Ntilikina, what happened to Frank. Yeah, we got to talk about it. There's just so many good topics, man. But I think I forgot to add my question of the night is the top 5 deepest teams in the league. Are the Knicks one of the top 5 deepest teams in the league? That's my question of the night. You guys can let me know how you guys feel about that. And of course, I want your honest and objective answer. I don't want you just giving me fanboy answers just because you love the Knicks. I want you to give the Knicks their real props. That's what we do on this show. And is this a vampire show? Nah. It's kind of like a vampire show, even though it's not too late. Tomorrow I'll be back with the pod. This week inside the Knicks. I'm not sure if we'll do a 2 a day, but if we do get news, I will do a 2 a day. Of course, I drop clips every single day. And then on Tuesday through Friday, Blue and Orange Brunch throughout the whole week. I'm gonna try to sneak in another Objective Fan Hoops video. I'll let you know exactly when that will be as well. But big time salute to all of you guys. And I'm going to get into my first topic. A lot of good topics. I'm going to start with a positive story. So a lot of us were impressed with the shooting of Tyler Nickel during Summer League. Salute to Tyler Nickel. All right. Double Nickel is what I call him. And the question is, will Double Nickel get the opportunity to make this team on a 2-way deal? Because it's safe to assume that he won't land that last roster spot. Now, Tyler Nickel, unlike Ariel Hukporti, the year prior to this year, or was that 2 years ago? 2 years ago, Ariel Hukporti, he signed a 2-way deal shortly after when the period opened up. And of course, Tyler Nickel's going on 2 months about to be where there's no talk of a deal for Tyler Nickel. And it left a lot of us like with a lot of question marks as to where the Knicks see themselves going. But this kid, Tyler Nickel, man, he can shoot. And I like the fact that he's 6'7", big guy, and you can't move him on the perimeter defensively. And he gives effort defensively, and he cares about the game. There's just so much positive things about this brother. Now, Tyler Nickel, I can make them pay with the sharp shooting skills as ex-coach knows too well. All right. Now, this was one of those nights, one Steph Curry S-type shooting performances, as Mark Binghamton called it, when each time the ball left Tyler Nickel's hands, the Vanderbilt head coach sensed it was going in. He hit 8 threes for the Commodores. Salute to that. That's fire. My man is a sharp shooter. All right. And this was during their December 21st win over Wake Forest, including 3 in the first 4 minutes and 6 by halftime. Damn, that boy was on fire. 6 months later, the scene played out again on the Summer League stage when Nickel, and now with the Knicks after getting picked 47th overall, drained 6 threes in his Las Vegas debut, man. We may have something with this kid. A lot of us were impressed with him. My only question mark right now, the Leon and the guys, is why isn't he under contract? What's going on there? Now, he flashed a quick release and the ability to connect from different spots on the court. It was the first spark that ignited a strong first impression months before his first training camp, with Nickel making 41% of his threes from beyond the arc, averaging 9.2 3-point attempts per game. This man is in fuego. Now, of course, this is Summer League, but at the same time, Tyler Nickel definitely balled out, and his coach and that story about what he did at Vanderbilt this shows us this guy deserves an opportunity. But the question mark remains, why haven't this brother got an opportunity? Of course, Mike Brown does not hesitate to play the young players. He played Tyler Kolek, Mo Diawara, Kevin McCullough Jr. last season when they opened up as defending champs. All right. Nickel is a name that we definitely have our eye on. All right. Binghamton told the Post that he just has to be ready when he gets an opportunity for him. He does not know when it's going to be there. It could be there initially. He could have to wait for an injury. It could have to wait for a year. But when his opportunity comes, he's just got to be ready. And he's the type of guy that will be. So this is according to his coach, man. Salute to the coach. He would know best. A lot of high praise for his former player, Tyler Nickel. And, you know, Tyler Nickel should have an opportunity to showcase his talents, showcase his skill, and we'll see what happens with him. We'll be monitoring him. I know he'll definitely get a training camp invite, if not anything else, but the two-way should be on the horizon for the young Tyler Nickel. But the 6'8" shooter, do you think that he will have to wait closer to training camp to secure a deal like Mo Diawara? Mo Diawara signed his one-year deal. He was with the roster. Mo Diawara was never a two-way player, but he signed his deal on September 15th. So will Tyler Nickel, double Nickel, have to wait till then, or will he get a shot earlier? Now, meanwhile, Jack Cahill, he can't sign a two-way contract because he has a deal overseas. So his situation is a lot different. But we will have to see exactly what will happen with these young rookies. And I anticipate double Nickel getting that contract sooner than before later. Salute to everybody who just joined the show. Definitely continue to smash that like button. All right, this is the Semi-Vampire show. Smash that like button so we can continue letting the Knicks fans and the YouTube algorithm know that this is where we are tonight. And I'm looking forward to having a good conversation with you guys. Just to give you guys a reset. Also, subscribe if you're not subscribed. All right, very important to the algorithm as well. You guys watch, well over half of you, but you're not subscribed. So we need to change that habit tonight. And you might as well make it official. So, are we the top 5 team amongst the top 5 deepest teams in the league? I need you to give your honest opinion. Right now, this is not depending on future moves. Right now, do you think we have the top 5 team? All right, we talked about Tyler Nickel and what his ex-coach had to say about him. Hopefully he gets a shot to make this roster very soon. And the flagship tonight is the double agents. How concerned are you about the double agents? We're gonna get to the bottom of that. That is Ariel Hukporti, who's now with the Philadelphia 76ers. That's Mitchell Robinson. Oh my God. Sad ass Boston with the Celtics, Mitchell Robinson. And then of course, you got Jeremy Sohan. Breaking news yesterday. He signed a 1-year deal with the Portland Trail Blazers. So yes, we will be talking about the double agents. If you want to talk about that, you can hit the phone line now, 646-995-8389. Call up, voice your opinion. All right. And I look forward to see what you guys got to say. I will get into one more topic before I hit the phone lines. We're also going to talk about Carmelo Anthony as well. He says there's no such thing as a back end. I can't wait for that conversation. That's going to be a very interesting conversation. I'll start here. This is a really random one. Okay. So I got a free agent big man that no one's talking about. No one's thinking about. It seems as though there's a divide amongst Knicks fans about what we should do with the center spot. There's a regime, I think that they're mainly ex-Mitchell Robinson fans who may still be closeted Mitchell Robinson fans who feel as though Drummond is not good enough as a backup. So there's this continuing pressure for the Knicks to sign another option at the center spot. Then you have the other regime that feels as though Drummond is okay or he's enough and we just need a third string guy, but it's not the huge priority at the moment. Maybe there's other issues that we would prefer this team take advantage of and sign. So these are the split between Knicks fans. But I got a big man for you that no one is really talking about. How would you guys feel about Kelly Olynyk? Kelly Olynyk is still a free agent. He was regarded as a utility big, and he is somebody who has versatility, especially on the offensive end. I do got a source I want to get to. Let me get to research mode so we could talk about Kelly Olynyk. What do you guys think about this guy? All right. He's currently a free agent. No one picked him up. Okay. And they got him labeled here on Yahoo Sports as a sharpshooting 13-year veteran big man. Okay? That's what they're labeling him as. And you know, Mike Brown does like flexibility, and they signed Andre Drummond, who has the ability to stretch the floor. Could this be a direction that we're going? Getting another 7-foot guy with the capability to shoot threes. I don't know. What do you think? Now, once again, every article we read, expect to see Mitchell Robinson or Ariel Hukporti in the first paragraph. And honestly, it just makes me feel like, what are we doing? You know, why are we making it as if these guys are, you know, the end all be all to our championship pursuits? Yes, they are double agents and they will be leaking any information to the opposing teams about us. We know that, but that's routine. That's what happens when you win the championship. So Knicks have yet to sign a replacement for Ariel Hukporti. I hate looking at it like that, but that's how they wrote it. The franchise fell short in its pursuits of Jonas Valanciunas early this summer, and Dallas Mavericks matched their offer sheet that they sent to Musa Cisse. Fortunately for the Knicks, there's a wealth of big man talent remaining on the free agent market. Now, depending on what article you read, you're going to hear there's no other options at center. You're going to hear all types of wild stuff. The truth is that there's, whether it's free agent centers or whether it's on the market, there are plenty of centers that the Knicks can take advantage of and hire them for their services by signing them to one-year deals. According to Kento Kato of the Knicks SI, 13-year veteran Kelly Olynyk could be an ideal target. Now, just for GP, let's do Kelly Olynyk his just due. Let's go to Basketball Reference and let's check out some information on Mr. Olynyk. All right. As you can see, some of his specs, 7 foot, 240 pounds. Okay. He went to Gonzaga, right? Of course, he's Canadian. He played with the Canadian team. All right. And he was a former first-round pick years ago, about 13 years ago. Now, this guy's a veteran. I remember when this guy first came in the league. Makes me feel a little old. Okay. Anyway, nonetheless, Kelly Olynyk, all right, not an active part of any rotation, right? But he does bring double agent attributes to the fold because he played with the San Antonio Spurs. And for you guys who think that we're going to see the Spurs again in the finals, Kelly Olynyk may be somebody who could fill the Jeremy Sohan shoes. Okay, but this guy didn't play much, so you can't really look at what he did in San Antonio, though he did play 42 games. He really wasn't asked to shoot as much as he would in those other roles. So his three-point shooting did dip, but I don't think it's a fair sample size. The brother only took about 42 threes on the year. Okay. Now, if you go back a year before that, okay, you see that he still hasn't played a lot of games. But when he did get minutes in New Orleans Pelicans, he only played 20 games. He played 25 minutes a game. He shot 50% from the field and just under 40% from three. So this guy can be an option as the three-point shooting spot. He did also that same year average just under 6 rebounds, and he averaged 10.7 points. So Kelly Olynyk does have the knack for putting the ball in the basket. He's not the best defender in the world. I know that's what some of you guys are going to say. Hell no, we need defense. Everybody who's saying we need defense, I'm willing to bet that you're a Mitchell Robinson guy. I'm willing to bet you just think that Mitchell Robinson was it, and we lost out on Mitch. So if we don't get somebody who plays like Mitch, we're doomed and we're in trouble. You know what I call that? I call that spooky in the goddamn woods. So these are Kelly Olynyk numbers. All right. So Kento, he believes that Kelly Olynyk could be the ideal target. By getting Kelly Olynyk, they'll be able to diversify their center room much more. He may not have played much last season in San Antonio, but as recently as 2024, he was a regular rotational player, providing some nice minutes. Unlike some other big men available, Olynyk offers a different offensive profile. Previously mentioned options like Nick Richards and Yves Missy's are centers who do little to no damage outside the paint. Olynyk doesn't have that problem. Olynyk is a proven talent at the NBA level. He played 842 regular season games. Damn. It's a lot of games, y'all. All right. And he averaged 9.8 points, 5 rebounds, 2.4 assists because he can pass the ball as well. To all the people who like passing, Kelly Olynyk definitely can help, with the offense in multiple ways. All right. Don't really care about Mitchell Robinson. And they're also talking about Nick Richards. But I want to know, what do you guys think about Kelly Olynyk? Is he somebody who the Knicks should consider adding to the fold? I think that if you can't get anybody and he's like the last one left, I probably would sign him over Nick Richards only because of what he can do on the offensive end in terms of stretching the floor and passing. I think those are some valuable skills. He's also going to be comfortable with not playing much minutes because he didn't play much minutes on the previous 2 teams that he was on. Right? So this is what you get from this guy, Kelly Olynyk. What are your thoughts? Let me know. Call up 646-995-8389. If I do miss your call, I will call back. And I promise to not make it so late in the night, but I will call you guys back for sure after you call. Let me hit these phone lines, because I do have a couple of people who call. Let's see. Oh, no, these are early calls. Oh, so nobody called. You do want to call 646-995-8389. Call up. I thought I had callers in the queue. I guess I don't. It's cool. I'll get into another topic. All right. Tonight we talking about the double agents. The double agents. Ariel Hukporti, Mitchell Robinson, Jeremy Sohan. Do you think they will spread information? Of course they would. Will that information be damaging? We got to talk about that. Ooh, okay. I'm going to get into another topic. I'm going to trigger y'all. Oh, hold on. I do got a call. Hold up. Hello, caller. State your name. Where you calling from, family?
Yeah, this is Shaw. I'm from Brooklyn. What's
Shaw
up,
from
fam?
Brooklyn, man. Man, nothing much, man. We just here talking Knicks on the Vampire stream, man. Where you want to go, family?
Okay, I do like Kelly. I like Kelly, man, because I saw his highlights. Yeah, I really like him. He could pass, and yeah, he likes the he can get up with the boys, man. He's tough. And I'm also was thinking, have you check into the other dude? He's a power forward. He's 7'1", Patrick Baldwin.
Yes, I heard of Patrick Baldwin. Yep, I've seen him before.
Okay.
You think that's the option we should go with the final spot?
Yeah, he's only 24, I believe.
Young guy. Yep.
Yeah, that way we ain't got to trade McBride. Now, if we gonna trade, what's the? I've been hearing all these rumors. The guy that's I think he's like 24, 7'1", Charlotte Hornets. If we don't, I'm not getting rid of McBride. Yeah, I'm not getting rid of McBride. I'm gonna give him some draft picks and some cash considerations if we're gonna go that route. And
are you concerned about signing him though? Because he could be due to get a big bag.
Who?
Deuce.
I mean, okay. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I have a video on the channel, right? Where I said there's a way to keep him. There's a way to keep him, right? But I don't know if Leon's going to go that route. But there is a way. You know, if they say there's a will, there's a way.
Right.
because he's different from Mitch. You know, Mitch is somebody who's already getting paid $15 million a year, right? So I don't know, but I'm leaning with you in terms of not giving up on McBride. It seems like he just becomes the number one trade guy everybody wants to trade. It's crazy.
I know, yeah, and I gotta tip my hat off to McBride, because you got to think about, he sacrificed like all the games, like the season. You know, he really helped.
Yeah.
Even though he didn't show up in San Antonio, he helped through the series. Though he helped through the other teams. You know.
Right.
Yeah.
Good point.
And I land my plane.
All right, man. Well, hey, great call, and I'm gonna save your number, Shop Brooklyn. Thank you for the call, my brother.
Thanks,
Have
man.
a great night.
You
No
too.
doubt.
Have a great night.
All right, man. We've been getting some really good first-time callers, man. If you want to call up, 646-995-8389. We got a lot of topics. I'm definitely going to trigger y'all. I know I'm going to get callers after this next topic. Just want to save this brother's name. I already know, because a lot of you guys are infatuated with this Knick player that I'm about to talk about. So there's a guy by the name of OG Anunoby. Every time you say OG Anunoby, you have to
10
cheer.
seconds.
You know, because Knick fans will go crazy if you do anything else but cheer. So OG Anunoby, fan favorite, crowd favorite. A lot of us have high expectations for OG. I think he can make the All-Star team next year if he's healthy, right? Health is something that he struggled with last season. Especially early on in the season. Remember, he missed like 8 games or so early on, and then it took him time to get back and all that stuff. So OG Anunoby, if he's healthy, I think we all know that he could be big time in this league. I did a poll asking, is he the next Knicks superstar? However, there are areas of his game that could use some drastic improvement. Very talented. We know what he does defensively. The most versatile defender in the league is OG Anunoby. OG Anunoby also is the only Knick to not have a faction against him. Every other Knick player, Brunson has a group of Knick fans that don't like him. Mikal, for sure, I had to go on trial as Mikel's lawyer to defend him. Josh Hart has a community of people that don't like him. You had the people who never liked Cat that call him soft, right? So every Knick player on this team has a regime of people who don't like him. OG Anunoby is the only one to get love from everyone. So you have to be careful what you say about OG Anunoby. All right. But me, I'm not going to tread lightly. I am the objective fan. I'm here to talk basketball, and I'm always going to give you the real talk. All right. I'm not the super nicked out dude that's Knicks all day when the Knicks is not good. I'm going to tell you that the Knicks is not good. Fortunately, we're very good. Salute to Leon Rose and the collaboration. Okay. But when the Knicks weren't good, I never act like we're going to be good, because that would have just made me delusional. So I'm always going to keep it real all the time. Now, OG Anunoby, go to research mode, is a brother who performed very well in the playoffs, elevated his game, but he has one major hurdle to merging the playoff and regular season success. Because yes, the playoffs was phenomenal, but the regular season has some things that we need to tweak. All right. And what is that? OG took a clear leapfrog to stardom in the playoffs. He averaged 20 points per game in the playoffs. Hey, that right there is what turns you into a star player. When you elevate your scoring in the playoffs, that means that your game gets to a higher level during bigger moments. So OG Anunoby is that guy. And if he continues down his path, shoot, an All-NBA could be in OG Anunoby's sights. Especially if Cat's going to be a point guard. That's a whole nother topic. Kajic. Now, he evolved in front of fans' eyes into a star-caliber scoring threat who played a pivotal role in ending the 53-year-old drought. That's another thing I'm tired of seeing. Oh, the 53-year-old drought. Every article, 53-year-old drought. Oh, Lord. We just won the championship, man. I don't want to talk about the drought. I don't want to think about the drought. I just want to think about the damn championship. We suffered enough. The key to OG merging his playoff success with his regular season results results in overcoming a major hurdle. Glaring inefficiency when creating his own offense. OG is one of the best in the NBA at working without the ball. That's facts. He was like number one in corner threes or something. He was up there if he wasn't number one. And Mikal was also up there. Whether he's burying open jump shots or attacking closeouts, his off-the-ball positioning and quick decision-making allow him to turn an off-the-ball activity into a wide array of scoring opportunities. All facts. All right? He also shot 41.6% on catch and shoot threes in 25-26. He leaned into his strength in that regard, attempting 7.4 of his 12 field goal attempts per game, with 2 seconds of first touching the ball. So he's getting the shots up fast. But when you're getting the shots up fast, that means that you're not creating offense for yourself or enough offense for yourself. That usually means you're scoring off assisted buckets. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But if we want to see OG get to that next level, and be that dominant scorer and really put his name amongst the elite in terms of being a two-way player, he must become capable of being an ISO player, because his woeful inefficiency as an isolation player and general shot creator, it definitely has a glaring bright light shining on it. OG Anunoby shot 23.6% on pull-up threes during the 25-26 regular season. That's a sharp decline from his catch-and-shoot efficiency. He shot 50.6% on drives, thus seemingly offsetting the concern, but did so while attempting just 2.5 field goals in such a scenario. So he wasn't getting as much buckets off the drives. The only scratches to the surface on how far OG is from being a reliable shot creator, no matter how many flashes of brilliance he showed in the playoffs. While OG ranked in the 84th percentile in off-the-ball shot-making efficiency, he finished in the 3rd percentile in self-created shot-making efficiency. So we have to be careful when crowning OG as an efficient offensive player, because he doesn't do enough of it in terms of creating his own shot. He has to that's the next step in his game, is to become that self-creator shot maker and getting more shots himself and increasing his efficiency on dribble and shoots, especially in the mid-range. But OG Anunoby is someone who we know can accomplish this. But this is something that we have to address, because this is level-headed Knicks talk. I'm not just here to give you the super-duper stats and OG is the best and the greatest ever. We also got to talk about the deficiencies. And I think that this right here, this change here, that in these 3 paragraphs, will be the key to OG unlocking that next step successfully. If he wants to be an all-star, if he wants to take his game to that next plateau offensively, because we already know defensively OG Anunoby is one of the best players in the world. All I'm requesting from OG is to do more in the mid-range, especially off the bounce. Definitely got to work on the handles. I know this is not going to happen, especially with Kawhi Leonard having all of the stress that he's going through right now. But I really do wish that OG could hang out with Kawhi to learn, more about what Kawhi does in the mid-range especially, but just tightening up his game. I think that he would be the perfect person to work out with OG over the summer. Who's to say that they didn't work out? OG is low-key, right? Kawhi is low-key. Maybe that could be the reason why they possibly got along back in Toronto when they won the championship together. But I see a little Kawhi in OG, not quietly complete the same player, but I think OG has some elements to his game that resembles what Kawhi was doing to bringing to the table before he became an all-star, superstar caliber player. All right, but if you want to call up 646-995-8389, call up, voice your opinion, right? Also, do me a favor and smash that like button so we can let the YouTube algorithm know that this is the place to be and talk about the Knicks late night on a Sunday. All right. And also, I just want to remind you guys about the New York edition to the 82 Night series, and it's available today for pre-order. This includes the complete 26-27 Knicks basketball schedule, plus all 12 components of the 82 Nights basketball intelligence system, that is game tracking, stat trends, 10-game reviews, players to watch, fan engagement pages, season reflections, and so much more. Pre-orders include free shipping, and that's for a limited time. So you want to place your order ASAP, and your journal will be scheduled to arrive to you early October before the season begins. All you have to do to put your pre-order in is check out my link tree. The link is in the description of the chat. Click that link and you will be able to pre-order your copy today. Big time salute to everyone who already placed their pre-orders, and the New York edition of the 82 Nights should help expand your basketball knowledge beyond the horizon. And I look forward to seeing every single one of you guys inside of the 82 Nights Club. Big time salute to you, especially the new revamped 82 Nights Club. Yeah, we're doing it big this year, man. I think that we're going to repeat. And this journal right here is the best way. The best way. This is the soft cover. We also got it in hardcover as well. All right. But this is the best way to keep track of it. So when you get on here, all you got to do is reach for your journal and say, hold on, let me check that out. What happened on March 3rd against the Houston Rockets? Let me go in there and check that out. All right. Once again, 646-995-8389. Let me see who we got in the queue. Got my man Rock. Let me get him on the line. BK to ATL. He was on the Members Only Sunday show as well. What's good, Rock?
Yo, chilling, kid. What's good, man?
Nothing much, man. We got double agents, man. We got haters. We got all types of stuff going on, man. Where you want to go with the conversation?
Let's go. Yeah, I was trying to chill and listen to the program, but it was driving me crazy. Everybody keeps throwing up Ben Simmons' name, man.
Oh my God! Oh no!
Yo, you can't recruit a player who's scared to make a layup.
Right.
Even robbing teams forever, man.
Bro, come on.
He'll make a video in the summer. He's lifting weights, shooting jump shots. Then game time come, no jump shots, no layups, nothing. Get close to the rim, pass it out. I mean, man.
That's a negative, yo.
That's crazy. But you know what? Yeah, OG working with Kawhi, yeah, it'd be perfect this summer. But Kawhi
Facts.
might be a little occupied mentally. I don't know,
Yeah, he ain't working around with nobody.
Yeah, but and matter of fact, if they could get together at least for a week or two, he and Mikal, I love to see them run drills with Jamal Crawford as far as dribbling. Yeah, that'll show up their dribbling. Plus he's alumni, so that'll work.
Facts.
And
I agree.
Also be helpful. I like to see him OG's steal a little bit of game from Carmelo in that mid post,
Ooh, oh yeah, we got Melo. He could work out with Melo.
Yeah, remember Melo kept you at bay with that jab step.
Oh, one of the best ever.
With the quick pull up.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to say that, man. Yo, the Ben Simmons thing they keep bringing up is driving me crazy, man.
I got a question for you, man. That Ben Simmons is crazy. I got a theory on that. I'm gonna share that when you get off the line. The top five deepest teams in the league, are the Knicks among them right now? Not who we think they're going to be right now. Are the Knicks among the top five deepest teams in the league?
I'm gonna say no, but
That's fair.
what makes us there is our system and our skill sets. And
Okay.
those double agents on these teams, you best believe the coaching staff gonna be asking what are some of the plays they was running. But here's the thing: the system won't work for them as well as it work for us because we have the personnel to perform it. A lot of
Right.
these teams don't, especially Miami.
10 seconds.
So that's the
Good
advantage
point.
we hold in the chemistry.
Good point.
Yeah, but
Good
talent
point,
wise,
man.
we're not that deep.
Right. I respect the honesty because we got the best starting lineup. We don't need the best everything.
Right.
We're the best at where it counts.
Right.
Right.
Yep. Because when
So
I start five on the floor, we whipping them. We just need to
that's
get
a fact.
some bench players to stay in that lead for the most part.
Right. Right, man. I appreciate that, man. Rock, man. Big time salute, family.
All right, bro. Thanks.
All right. It's my man Rock from BK to ATL. Salute to him. Salute to Trapped in the 90s. He says, Karan, out of all three new ops, which one worries you? I'm gonna answer that question. I'm assuming you're talking about the double agents, right? I'm gonna get to that in a second, but I will say that, trying to think, do we have the most double agents in the last 3 years? Because Boston pretty much had the same team, and OKC pretty much had the same team. They might have lost some young pieces, I think, but because Dylan Jones was, oh, wait a minute, Dylan Jones was a double agent. Hold up. I'm gonna get to that. Yo, Trapped in the Night, give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna get to that. But if y'all want to call up 646-995-8389, I'm gonna get into the double agent stuff. Right? I still gotta get into Melo. There's no such thing as a back end. We just pacing ourselves. I'm gonna get to that because that's my topic of the night, even though that's not the flagship topic of the night. But I'm gonna talk about the double agents, man. You know, Knicks must be cautious about the double agents. Dylan Jones is a perfect example of how intel of what the champions have done could help benefit, even if it's a small detail. We're not talking about giving up the plays. You know, we're not talking about none of those things, right? We're talking about basic intel to help inspire a team across the finish line, right? So, you know, we seen players switch teams all the time. You know, Luke Cornett went to the Spurs, right? Not to say that I'm pretty sure there was things that he taught him. I shouldn't say. I was going to say he didn't really teach him much. No, I'm pretty sure there's some things that he gave them from that prior experience. But the double agents is real tricky. Now, what made me think about this topic, and I'm going to get to this source, was this article right here. I thought that it was a fire article, fire concept. And Jeremy Sohan, I think, is the ringleader right now in terms of the double agent talk, because he's already been a double agent. So now he's like a triple agent, you know, and boom. Knicks must be where their championship winning double agent next season. Okay. This guy, he knows all the secrets. He knows all the ins and outs. He knows where Brunson likes to practice. He knows what Towns like to eat before the game. He knows all of the intimate details. New York Knicks had a special kind of advantage over the Spurs in the finals when the Spurs waived their former lottery pick Jeremy Sohan after the trade deadline to clear up a roster spot for center Mason Plumlee, who eventually signed a deal for the rest of the season. When the Knicks wound up matching up against the Spurs in the postseason, Sohan told reporters he'd do his best to put his experience playing on the other side to use. So Sohan already confirmed that, I'm going to give up the information to the opposing team because this is what I was brought here for. Salute to my man Tubbo. He was one of the early people who stated that that's the reason why they signed Sohan as an insurance policy in case they face the Spurs in the finals. Now, I never thought that we would see the Spurs, so I didn't really read much into it, but it turned out to work in the Knicks' favor. Now, Sohan has a non-guaranteed deal. See, this is another detail that emerged today. He has a non-guaranteed deal, which means that there's a chance that he won't make it to training camp. Okay, so even though Sohan is gone, is he gone? Will he make the team? Now, I dropped a video earlier today talking about why Sohan went to the Blazers. The Blazers do have some openings at the forward position. Now, is Sohan compatible to the way they play out there? I don't know. He's not a shooter. I think him not being a shooter really hurts him. Because, yes, defense is great. And, I play, when I hoop, I love to play defense. But you got to be able to shoot, bro. At some point, the name of the game is putting the ball in the basket. And Sohan hasn't shown us the ability to stretch the floor. So I think this is what's hurting him. And I think this is why he's a free agent and it's a non-guaranteed deal. All right. Now, Sohan confirmed that he will give information to the opposing team. You have Mitchell Robinson. You have Ariel Hukporti. I'm going to keep it real about Mitchell Robinson, trapped in the 90s, because I know you said that question. I don't think that Mitchell Robinson is going to be as big as a threat as a lot of you guys think he is, because a lot of you guys, half of you guys are Mitchettes, super duper Mitchell Robinson fans who miss him and the Knicks made a mistake. Keep it real. Do you believe in your heart, mind, body, and soul that we made a mistake by letting Mitchell Robinson go? Because if that's the case, then you spooky in the goddamn woods. All facts. I made this prediction, and it doesn't mean it's going to come into fruition, but at the same time, a prediction is a prediction. There's a good chance it's going to happen. And let me tell you why. I don't personally believe that the Boston Celtics will make the playoffs. And I know to some of y'all, that's like oh no, Boston won't make the playoffs. You got to remember, y'all, when I think about Boston, Jason Tatum, if we won, they got all of these sad ass songs and stories to why they lose. Then they get their punk A-words in the free agency and they trade away Jaylen Brown because they scary and they got excuses and they don't believe and they can't afford. I mean, okay. Right? Can't tell another man what to do with his money. But I could observe and see, right? So you get Paul George in return for Jaylen Brown. Come on, dog. What more do you want me to say? And you talk about injury prone. You got 3 injury prone starters in your lineup. Now, we kind of mentioned it on the Members Only Sunday show earlier. that Steph Curry just might be out of his way of Golden State. I don't know if that's true. I don't know, but there was some talk. And Boston came up as a team that he could possibly go to. If he goes to Boston, that'll make him better. I'll put him back in the playoffs. And then maybe we can talk about Mitchell Robinson. But trapped in the 90s. Out of all three of the double agents, the one that I'm concerned about the most is Ariel Hukporti. Ariel Hukporti, unlike Mitchell Robinson in my book, he will be on the team that will be in the playoffs. Jeremy Sohan and the Portland Trailblazers, even if they make the playoffs, we won't see them in the playoffs. So Sohan's impact will be during the regular season. Okay, Portland, this is what Brunson likes to do, but we're not going to see them in the playoffs. So what Sohan information has is just, it's weak to me. But we're using Sohan as a blueprint for what a double agent looks like, because right now he's a triple agent. He came to the Knicks saying that he was going to share the information. A younger Ariel Hukporti watches Jeremy Sohan. He's trying to expand his game and learn to be a pro. And he has these guys who's been there before him. And Sohan is one of those guys. Sohan sees what, or rather Ariel sees what Sohan has done. And now he takes it to Philadelphia, trying to coach them up as to how they can beat the Knicks. Plus, out of all of them, Ariel probably has the greatest chance to start. Believe it or not. I know that might sound crazy. How's he going to start over Mitchell Robinson? Well, Mitchell Robinson has to perform. He has to be healthy. And he has a guy by the name of Cater who backs him up, who literally got paid 2 days after he got paid. So that's telling me that they already got your replacement lined up, because you have a 3-year deal. He has a 4-year deal. And I don't think that Mitchell Robinson will make it to the end of his Boston Celtic contract, because when they crash and they burn in the smoke and fire, right? I'm talking basketball-wise, not real life. Mitchell Robinson will become the scapegoat. And they will blame their transgressions on Mitchell Robinson. Whereas Ariel Hukporti is playing behind a fragile, broken glass, Joel Embiid, injury waiting to happen. I know they have Bona, who has some experiences, but Bona is a hack. I feel like Ariel Hukporti's game is more diversified than Bona, and he, honestly, in my opinion, would probably be more qualified to start than Bona. That is when Embiid can't play, especially on back-to-backs. So Ariel will have more opportunity, and Ariel is on a better team out of all three of these guys. And we have the greatest chance, in my opinion, of seeing Ariel in the playoffs than the other two teams, because I think the other two teams are food and will smoke their boots. 646-995-8389. What's your thoughts on the double agent, triple agent Sohan, double agent Ariel, double agent Mitchell Robinson? All right. Tyler Nickel says his former coach says that he's a shooting superstar. OG Anunoby has to work on his isolation, dribble pull-up game. And the free agent big man that no one's talking about, Kelly Olynyk. 646-995-8389. Call up if you want to talk. All right. By the way, continue to smash that like button. We still cooking with hot grease, y'all. Do appreciate the support. Let's let the YouTube algorithm know that this is the place to be on a Sunday night. And we here talking Knicks basketball. Also subscribe, because well over half of you guys who watched in the last 28 days, you're not subscribed. So subscribe now to help us close the gap. Salute to y'all. You're rocking with the
Objective Fan.
All right. Hold on, get my man Blue up in here. And I got Tugboat. After these calls, I'm going to get to Mello.
Hello?
Hey, what's good, Blue?
Yo, what's up, guys?
Be in the
Can you hear
building,
me?
champ. I can hear you. Can you hear me? Hold on. Let me double check.
Yeah.
Triple check.
I think we good now.
So
What's
we
going
good,
on?
man. Where you want to go, champ?
Let's go.
Yo, man, I got a gripe, man. I got a serious gripe. I want to hit your talking points real quick. You said there's double agents with Mitch and
Yeah.
Haporti and Sohan,
Sohan.
right? I mean,
Triple agent.
I'm not necessarily disagreeing with that. I mean, my gripe is that, you know, the front office, man. You know, I know everybody wants to say Leon we trust and everything.
Uh-oh,
I got
you
a
going
gripe.
there.
Yeah, I
Uh-oh.
gotta say, yeah, you might want to put a couple disclaimers up, bro.
Hold up. Let me just put it up there just in case.
Oh, shucks. Yo, man, look, I got a problem with the way they're doing things, man.
Uh-oh.
They could have drafted somebody. They didn't. You know, that's one. Two, I mean, I understand it's Huck Porty, right? But you shouldn't have let him walk, and you let him walk to this particular team. You know, I don't appreciate that. Then you find yourself in limbo land with, you know, this miscellaneous roster spot that's available, but you ain't choosing to do nothing with it, right? You refusing to sign Tyler Nickel to a contract. What is going on here? And I mean, you know, they say there's a plan, or there was a plan, or what? I mean, are we still sipping on champagne over here, or are we like formulating a for real plan? I mean, like seriously, yo, because I mean, if I'm looking at it from just an objective point of view, and I'm saying, okay, well, this seems very discombobulated here, because, you know, if you like, you know, like I talked about James Dolan, him opening up his mouth when he could have been quiet about, not leveraging on what the plans was to do. Even if you wasn't planning on going into the second apron, you could have at least kept your mouth shut and been like, yo, we don't know what we planning on doing, instead of letting Mitchell Robinson go to the freaking Celtics. You could have let another team potentially go there and get him or whatever, even if you wasn't planning on re-signing him. But the thing is that, yo, what's the plan? What is the damn plan? And then, you know, all right, I get it. We're months away from the opening season starting. You know what I mean? And I get it. Like, we don't know if Tyler Kolek is going to be traded. We don't know if Deuce is going to be traded. We don't know any of these things yet. But there is a serious, like, you know, misdirection here on where this team is going. You should have been upgrading as you've won this championship, as you've seen all of these other teams upgrading, but you've stayed pat and maybe gotten just a tad worse, you know, than what you were I'm not saying like what I mean by a tad worse is just meaning like on the defensive side of the ball. You know what I mean? So I want there to be more defense on this team, especially from a height perspective. And I'm not saying trade Deuce or trade whoever. You know what I mean? You gotta improve. What's the plan? I mean, what's really good, Rose? I mean,
well, Blue, to be fair, it's still time. But I hear your gripes right now.
I know we got time.
I know your gripes.
But time is ticking, bro. Time is ticking. And yo, you got dudes coming off the bus. And then, yo, what's the deal with this dude LeBron choosing to fly helicopters from New York over to Philly? So that's what I'm saying. That's like saying, yo, I wanted to come to New York, but you know,
that's exactly what it is.
Exactly. So it's like,
That's exactly
yo,
what it
he
is.
wanted to be here in New York, but oh well,
Listen,
LeBron is a corporation, and all, it's just so much stuff
well,
that.
look, Blue. Look, man. I know there's a lot you want to say,
Yeah, G.
but I got,
Yeah,
but I got to
G.
move on.
All
And
right,
look,
man.
man. Just give Leon a chance. He's gonna make it right.
Yeah, I
Just
know.
give him a
Yo, we
chance.
won a champ. We champs, but
Mm-hmm.
that's why he gets a pass,
Okay.
or we
All right,
getting
bet.
leeway here.
We getting
You know?
leeway, man. Thank
But
you, Blue.
I got gripes, G. All
Of
right.
course. I appreciate that. All right. If you want to respond to Blue, call up 646-995-8389. Two things, too, before I get to Tubbo. Ben Simmons. All of you guys, this is why we have to do this show. We're going to have an intervention. Because everybody in the chat that was talking about Ben Simmons, y'all were Frank Ntilikina fans. And I see the connection. Anybody who wants Ben Simmons to come to the Knicks, y'all were Frank Ntilikina fans. You could book that. And we're going to do a show talking about Frank Ntilikina. And I need all of you guys who were Frank Ntilikina out to show up on that members only Sunday. All right? Because y'all bugging if you're talking about Ben Simmons in 2026. We got to stop. We got to stop. Once again, 646-995-8389. We got to stop. Uh-oh. Tugboat.
Yo, what was that?
Hey, Blue, yo, man, Blue. I'm trying to get him on the side of being an optimistic Knick fan.
I
But
don't even know why you cut him off. You should just let him keep going, man.
nah, we'll be here all night. Mm-mm.
He wants
No,
that
sir.
two-way call. I ain't falling for that bait, man. What? Hold on, big boy. Hold on. What were we
Wait.
talking about? The double agent.
We got the double agent, triple agents.
Okay. The double agent, right? To be a double agent, you gotta have intel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Intel is short for intelligence, right?
That's a fact.
Would you put the word intelligence and Mitchell Robinson in the same sentence?
I plead the fifth on that.
Okay. So that's our longest tenure Nick. That'd be the double agent we'd have to be concerned about. We don't have to worry about Huck Porter. He just got there. Yeah, he was integral to the team, and I missed him and all that, but not too worried about that. Sohan, he just got there. Not too worried about that either. So the really only double agent we would have is Mitchell Robinson, but you got to be intelligent to have intel. And
Okay.
you can just go through his social media and see the comprehension level that he resides at.
My slight pushback on you is that, Mitchell Robinson having information about the Coach Tibbs days is irrelevant. We want what happened last year because that's what got you to the championship. So all three of those guys were there, and they all three of them have the pertinent information for what Mike Brown was able to accomplish. And Ariel was there to see Coach Tibbs and Mike Brown, to be honest. So now he knows the difference between Mike Brown and Coach Tibbs. So I wouldn't just dismiss it just like that.
All right. Well, my second point is we got a whole new playbook from this offseason.
Right, I forgot to get to that part too. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
we got a whole new playbook for this offseason. So these guys, we didn't get rid of them. They went to a separate team before we even got through the started the offseason training. So
Right,
they
good point.
didn't see any of that.
Right,
And
we're
so
gonna change it up.
what they experienced with Mike Brown was some last minute, hey, let's put this team together and get a championship, based off of what we already know.
Right.
Now we're like,
got you.
all right, here's what we know, and how do we grow from that? They're not part of that growth, so I'm not too worried about the double agent aspect. And like I said, the only person I would be concerned about is Mitchell Robinson, but I don't think I'm not concerned about Mitch telling the Boston Celtics what they got
Is it
going
because
on.
you don't think the Celtics are going to be there? Because I don't think they're going to be there. So.
Well, yeah, that's the other part too, right? Because who was that? Remember when we saw Tibbs? Wasn't Tibbs talking to the Celtics too?
Yes, he was.
Yeah,
he was.
And we all got a little we didn't get shook, but we all just looked at it like, yo, what's going on here?
Yeah,
what's going on here? So yeah, I'm not.
nah, I'm not worried about it. And like you said, speaking of that, that goes to the other point with Sohan. We worried about seeing the Trailblazers in the finals.
Hell no.
Yeah. So what intel is he gonna? Even
None.
if Sohan is really good at what he is, as the double agent, triple agent that he is, okay, now you go to Portland Trailblazers. What are you going to tell them that's going to
In the
have us
middle of
shaking our
nowhere.
boots? Yeah. Yeah. What is he going to tell them that's going to be like, oh, yeah, you know what? We need to watch out for, nah.
They might get a game. Okay. One game. There you go.
Yeah.
Because of his
honestly, the
intel.
biggest threat probably is Huck, because Huck is on
Right.
Philly. And
think about it. You see him in that Eastern
by,
Finals. Think about it.
Yeah,
You see him in that Eastern Finals, man.
Yep. And he's surrounded
You
by
know?
guys who do have a certain level of intelligence. LeBron,
Right.
Jaylen Brown, pseudo intelligence, whether it be or not. But I feel
Right.
like they would have the ability to have the conversation to pry the information that they want.
Exactly.
Especially LeBron.
Exactly. You feel what I'm saying? So if they work out to be the well-oiled machine, now they got an unfair advantage in the locker room, similar to what we have with the San Antonio, and you called that to a T. You was like, yo, man, we signed them for San Antonio.
Yeah, but I didn't know somebody else brought out the Dylan Jones, and I didn't even think about that we had 2 double agents signed just for that.
So either way, yo, Leon is fire.
Fire, bro. That's why I was like, yo, I don't know what Blue is on, but I feel you. Patience is a virtue. I just listened to what I said about Mike Brown. I feel crazy. So I get it. I get it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we got to review that Smoke Fire show too, man.
Got to, bro.
Oh, man. That was, that we talk about a movie. Crazy.
That was crazy. That was that was crazy. Because there's a lot of moments off that tape.
Oh my goodness. A lot of moments. Everybody was losing their mind. I tried to be the, you know what I mean?
No. That was the night you turned your back on Mikel after 3 trials and 30 exhibit A's. You turned your back on Mikel that night. So
because he played scared, bro. He was out there looking all shaky, like scared to dribble. He didn't want no part. Like, come on, man.
All I'm saying is we all looked at the team differently that night.
I'm just saying the brother was scared to play. That was it. That was my only way. I didn't care about him missing shots. I just don't represent that, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't represent that. So I said, yo, it's a sink or swim, but he wound up swimming, and he don't need an attorney. Thanks to me, man. Mikel don't need no attorney.
Oh, thanks to you. Right.
You don't need no attorney no more. Like, Mikel, his reputation is up in the sky right now.
Well, I mean, it didn't matter if he needed an attorney because his attorney had left him, so it didn't even matter, right?
Yeah. I think he beat the case. I think he beat the case for sure.
Yeah, we definitely got to do a breakdown on that episode. I mean, just because honestly, that does represent Knicks fans as a whole, just and how we react. How in the middle of the playoffs we're ready to jump off the deep end. But I mean, I will say I don't think nobody talked like Spooky in the Woods. You know what I mean? Like saying like, oh, we're gonna lose the series or anything like that. It was just a matter of what is going on.
I don't want to point nobody out. Nah, people were Spooky in the Woods.
Oh,
I don't want to say no name.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't listen to the whole thing yet.
Yeah. You might want to get through it when you got time.
Okay.
It was some Spooky in the Woods. I'm like, nah, just relax, I know I did jump off the Mikel train, but I still was pulling for him to do his thing, and I figured this was a sink or swim, and he swam. So I'm not even mad at Mikel after that, He came.
I mean, the whole team.
Through.
You can't be mad at anybody. Yeah, the whole team came through. Oh, what
did
were
you
you
hear
saying
the part?
about?
Oh, OG.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah. What were you saying? He stepped up.
Well, what I was saying was he wasn't shooting the ball well off the dribble. Threes and his shooting off the dribble needs improvement. And if he's going to be that, if he's going to get to that next level, like how we want him to be, as a two-way guy, you got to be able to create your own offense. That's another thing too. He doesn't create a lot of his own offense.
Yeah, but
So
you got to be able to dribble for that. I mean, that's his one kryptonite, right? Is dribbling the ball, and I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. I mean, think about it. How do you increase your? How do you say I'm gonna increase my offense, and your dribbling is still the same? And he followed through with it. He increases offense and then increases handles. How do you do that?
well, they're gonna have to run plays for him. If that's the case, that'll be the only way he'll be able to score without dribbling, because that's what Clay does. What Clay did, not does.
But
Because he don't do that no more.
he has he unlocked a whole different shooting package. Like, remember when he was shooting those fadeaways at first? We were all like, "Yo, OG, what are you shooting fadeaways for? Midi fadeaways." And then he does it in the finals.
Yeah.
We're like, "Oh, okay, I see the vision.
Right.
I see the
But
vision." You know.
But you remember what you get what I'm saying about Clay, right? They were running plays for him off them screens to get those quick threes. We don't run play. Mikal and OG, now maybe that could be the new wrinkle next year. I don't know. But
Well, yeah, because I mean that's the whole thing, right? Is making Cat the hub. I mean, not saying that he will always be the hub, but having that in our playbook, having Cat as the hub, he's definitely gonna, create something for OG. There's definitely gonna be play create. I think you're onto something. I think there's definitely gonna be some play creation for wing stopping as a whole.
But as a star player, you can't rely on another man to create for you. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be able to make some moves and get your own shot off too. That's all I'm trying to say.
But he did though. I mean, he was shooting over Wemby.
Yeah, that was in the playoffs. No, in the playoffs he stepped his, but we saying in the regular season. So now coming into this,
gotcha.
Right? Especially if you want to get to all-star level. Now maybe the playoffs unlocked it. I'm not trying to down him.
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. You're just saying his regular performance last year cannot be the same regular performance this year.
Right. You can't start off, shaky, dog. You got to continue at that level. And if he adds that to his arsenal, man, he might get 22 a game. Easy.
And I think OG is one of those guys where, like you get players who get the bag and they shut down. OG already proved he got the bag and he stepped his game up. Now that he has the notoriety, now that he has the fans on his side, now that he has, future all-star contention, I think he's going to play even better. I just believe that he always wants to outplay the hype.
Okay. So another challenge that I have for OG, I didn't talk about it, but it's very hard to defend the opposing team's best player and score. Right. So I don't know how that's going to factor in. Now, to his credit,
but he's
at the 4. He has, but technically in the playoffs, he was matched up with Okongwu. He wasn't guarding the lead guy most of the time. Yeah, he had times against Fox and certain guys with, but for the most part, he was guarding Vassell. You know what I'm saying? And those guys are not really creating much. So now you have, and maybe that was a tactic for Mike Brown. He's like, yo, I'm gonna make OG play less defense, against like a tough matchup and make him more valuable on the offensive end. Because it's hard to do both, bro. Very difficult.
But don't downplay it either though, because Vassell ain't no slouch. And Vassell went off. Vassell has the capability to go off, and he did nothing against us. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
But
Vassell's not creating his own shot. But he's not, you know what I'm saying? He's not like Castle. He's not creating. Like he's catching, shooting. You see what I'm saying? So like that'll be a way to give a guy a break. So you're not killing him. So that's why when people get on Mikal Bridges to score, I just laugh. I'm like, dude, you know who he has to guard every night? And now you want me to come on that other end? And it's for 48 minutes to do that, or 36 minutes you're playing, you're going to be gassed, bro.
And he doesn't miss a game. And he doesn't miss a game.
Right? So Mikal, he can't get 20. Some nights he'll get 20 for sure. Right? Because the assignment might be different or the pressure might be different, but it's hard to do both, bro.
It's hard to do both, but a goose egg is unacceptable. Can we agree to that?
No, yeah. Listen, I never defended his poor play. I was more concerned about the shooting than the points. People was harping on the points. Oh, he didn't have this. Dude, he don't got no plays run for him. 70% of his buckets in mid-range are assisted upon. So that means the majority of the time he's shooting the ball is because they're passing him the ball. So if he's not getting past the ball, he's not getting no shots. Like it's not that hard to understand.
Well, let me ask you this though: who on the Knicks is getting who on the Knicks is getting plays ran for him?
Brunson and Cat.
Okay, all right. I just want to make sure because I'm like, yo, ain't nobody getting no plays running for him. Nobody.
No, they don't. There's
little
plays.
ISO ball thing, except for the top two guys.
No, sir. Remember, Cat said the play was for me. That last play when Brunson took that 3, that was for me. Yeah, there are plays for Cat and Brunson for sure. That's the first and second option.
Yeah. Yeah. For them. But I'm like,
but the rest
else,
of the guys,
nah.
it's just read and react off them two. You know, so you get back doors, you get your little midi cuts, you just keep moving, hit the corners fast. We'll get you the ball movement.
And so that's what I mean.
That's what makes the Knicks hard to do.
I think this offseason there will be some plays done, and I think the intel that Huck Porty or whoever can provide, it's just a matter of tendencies. They need a tendency report. You know, they tend to 100%. Do this, they tend to do that. But as far as like the Sohan playbook, you know, that he did where he gave us the plays, nah, I don't think we don't have any plays. You know, we have very little plays.
100%, man. But look, man, I appreciate you, Tugboat, man. Great call.
I appreciate the call, man. Yeah, likewise.
Big time salute, Tugboat.
All right, brother.
All right. Got my man Ty calling up. Trying to think if I should hit this topic or get the tie. I'm gonna get the tie, then I'm gonna get to the topic. Let me get because Ty might want to talk the blue. And then that might start something. I don't know. Let's see what happens. What's good, Ty?
Yo, family. What's good, my guy?
Nothing much, man. We having a great conversation, man. Just talking about a whole lot of topics. Double agents, triple agents. You know, OG Anunoby, what he has to improve. Free agent big men. Where you want to go?
Yeah. I try to touch a little bit of all of it, but not too much.
Okay.
I know you're talking about the double agents. I saw that, the triple agents. That's funny. You know, when you're not that important with the scheme of the team, there's only so much free agent talk you can do. There's so much, you know what I mean? Not free agent talk, but agent talk. You know what I mean? Like, you know, you're not a spy, really. You're not like a, you know, what can they really say? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, they wasn't the intricate part. Okay, as far as Mitch is concerned, yeah, but we know Mitch is the ops. And we already had our players go at Mitch. So we know that. Huck Porty, I think he's a little salty, you know what I mean? And Sohan, I think that Sohan is, you know, I don't think he really wanted to leave. You know, I mean, even though he got his, you know, his ring, I feel like, you know, his chip, I feel like I don't think he really wanted to leave, but you know, at the end of the day, man, somebody was going to be a casualty of war. And so I'm glad these guys were the casualties of war instead of anybody in our starting 5. You know what I mean? Or our rotation of 7 or 8. Now, those guys had an intricate part in really what's going on. The bigs role playing, you know what I mean? They're not in the same section with the starting 5 of practice and stuff like that until, you know, they're done working with the bigs and then the bigs go in there, you know. So it's a lot of funky information that was going on. But look, here's the beautiful part, though, right? Mike Brown has a whole nother year to throw other wrinkles into what these guys could possibly be telling other teams. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
facts.
Yeah, this is all beautiful, man. This makes for a historic run. This makes for a beautiful season, man. And yeah, so you know, they are going to be trying to say a little bit of this, a little bit of that, but I don't think it's something for us to be concerned about. You know,
so I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
If we see the 76ers in the Eastern Conference Finals, and Ariel's over there like, yo, man, Brunson, he likes to start. He warms up on the left side, and then he's going to come back. You don't think that because remember, Mike Brown said Dylan Jones gave him the bid on what the Thunder did, and he played the tapes of the Pacers, right? So, and that was Dylan Jones, who was, I don't even know what the hell he did on the Thunder, but but that was a vital piece of information. So not everything has to be just like tea and like, oh man, this guy does this and this guy got wife problems. It could also just be like, yo, man, one of the things about the Knicks, man, with Dolan, he said to us, Now their owner's doing the speech. You feel what I'm saying? It could
Right.
be it could be something subtle like that, especially if you do see these guys in the series.
I got you. So on that note, it's more like when Sohan was telling us about Wemby and when
Right.
Ed, when you know, Ant-Man was telling you know, Cat and them how to play Wemby and stuff like that. That stuff,
Facts.
you know, it's to be expected. But see, here's the real big part of that. You still got to go out there and complete the task, right?
Right.
You can get all the information you want, but you can't stop the best player in the world, and that's Jalen Brunson. You can't stop the best offense in the world, no matter. You can get all the information. You think them people don't have information on the Bulls? They still had to stop them. The Knicks we had a great defense in those runs, but we still could not get over the hump because the Bulls were the Bulls and it was their time. When it's your time, things are going to align for you. Last year, you know, you got people talking about, you know, it was luck and all this stuff because they can't believe that team this year rather, completed the task in a historic fashion. So it takes away from a lot of these great players. You know what I'm saying? The Knicks winning this way put a real dump on, you know, the Charles Barkleys of the world and the Patrick Ewings of the world and all, Reggie Millers. This team has put them in a hole because you have a guy like Jalen Brunson who was not considered a superstar take a team and put a team on his back the way they did, but you know, Brunson being our leader, and complete the task in historic fashion. So now you got the greats coming out like, well, dang, you know, nah, it was luck though. They need everything to fall their way. Well, no,
bugging.
you know, yeah, but what about Brunson needing surgery right after the playoffs, right? Nobody wants to talk about that. What about Mitch breaking his finger and OG having to go down for a little while and Deuce being hampered and, you know, we had a lot of injuries. We dealt with a lot of different things throughout that playoff run in the season. So I don't want to hear people talk about it was luck, you know. So at the end of the day, that information that they want to give to the other team, yes, during the playoffs or something, Eastern Conference Finals, and we're playing, and you know, Huck Porty. But who's gonna listen to Huck Porty over there? They're gonna listen to him a tad bit. But you got LBJ over there, who's an ego. You have Jaylen Brown, who's an ego. You know, you have VJ, and you got Maxey with Embiid. They all feel like they know us already. So I don't see how much Huck Porty can really tell them that they haven't seen yet. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't be concerned about that. And as far as OG, man, listen, man. I heard you saying, you know, OG wasn't guarding the best players. I think OG was guarding valuable players that were players who could really hurt us. But I think what OG did was, because I give it to Mikal. Mikal, you know, Mikal did his thing. So I'm not taking that from Mikal at all. In fact, after listening to Mikal on that recent podcast with Marshawn Lynch, man.
Yeah.
You'll never hear me say anything about Mikal again. I love that dude, and that right there just put him in a soft spot of my heart, man, because mental illness is for real. And out of all the people, but I used to say that to us. I'm like, y'all, we the ones getting on our players. We the ones that's heavy on our players and stuff like that. I used to tell everybody that because our fandom is powerful, man. Our fandom is powerful, and we run all over the world, and that's why they don't understand how we take over arenas. But Mikal is in my heart, man. But and I'm glad he came through that and he overcame. Mikal is strong, and Mikal's gonna go off this year. But I want to get back to OG real quick. OG is phenomenal. Here's what OG did. When you're looking at two-way players, the reason why we don't know if OG is going to be able to do it is because we can't put him in the same text as Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, those great two-way players who can lock you up and then go take your heart. Well, I'm sorry to tell everybody and put them on notice. We don't know OG's ceiling. Now, he's not as athletic as those boys, but his defense is impeccable. And here's the thing with OG, his offense is coming easy. You see that? His offense is coming easy. You leave him open, he's going to bury the three.
Right.
If you take the lane, he's going to dunk on you. He's playing simple. He's not crossing you over, spinning and fading away. He's not doing all that. He's taking what you give him and he's making you pay for it. He's punishing you with it. And that is exactly why OG is going to be able to be top of the league in the defense, and he's going to be an all-star this year because OG's ceiling is not even – they don't know it. They don't know it. They can't gauge it. What? Because there's so many factors he can get good at. You just said, me and you was talking a month or so ago about his post-up game. Remember we was laughing about him?
Yeah, he definitely got to work on that too. For
See what
sure.
I'm saying? Now and then how he's kind of clumsy going to the hole. You know what I mean? Like he's stumbling and bumbling. Can you imagine if he cleans that up?
Oh man, 22 a game.
Right. And can you imagine him taking somebody off the dribble and just pulling up on their face, mid-range in it?
Oh man.
See what I'm saying? Like, we don't know what the heck this boy got. He's in his prime. He's in his prime. He's entering in his prime. All of them are. No, Jalen Brunson's entering in his prime. Cat is entering in his prime. Hart is entering in his prime. OG's entering in his prime. And Mikal is entering in their prime. That's why you can't trade the 5. You can't. Why would you trade somebody heading into their prime when normally you go into your prime? That means you have another level to go to, or one or two levels. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's why
100%.
I'm not too concerned about the bench and stuff like that, bro. Like, you know, this topic is fire, man. I just wanted to chime in because, you know, I'm not worried about Porty or Mitch. Mitch and that nasty green. That's just, I can't believe you put that up there. That was disgusting, bro. When I saw it, I was like, Mitch looks disgusting over there. He looks like, what's that other kid name? That's over there, their center.
Talking about Kata?
Yeah, he looks like Kata, man. They same hairstyle. They look alike.
They got his replacement ready, man. When it goes to south, Kata will be the starter. Trust me.
They
signed him they signed him 2 days right after they signed Mitch.
Oh, so he's not
letting him know this is your replacement, yo.
But see, that's Mitch's fault because Mitch is still hurt behind leaving the Knicks, and he's still chiming in, talking to us instead of focusing on his new team. So Boston, like, yeah, we got another Jaylen Brown. We got to get him out of here, man. Give him 1 year and get him out of here.
I'm telling you, when it crack, he will be the scapegoat. Trust me when I tell y'all.
Yeah, you think so? You think so?
I've watched. Just watch.
I think Jason Tatum. If they don't make the playoffs this year, I know you don't pick them to make the playoffs. I do. I picked them to be like number 2 or 3. But
2 or 3?
Yeah, bro. I know. See, this league in Boston, the league love Boston, man. They love it. I'm not saying I don't do the conspiracy thing. I'm just saying sometimes the whistle falls their way ridiculously, man. So, whatever. But I think that, you know what I mean? I think that I think that the Boston Celtics gonna be 2 or 3. I really do. I think they're gonna shock everybody like they shocked us last year. Yeah, I don't put Philly 2 or 3, bro. I put Philly like 4 or 5. I think they're gonna be in the middle of the pack because I think they're gonna want to play one of the top seeds in the first round. You know what I'm saying? I think they're gonna try to dodge us, but I think they would want to play like a Boston or whoever else because when you're at the top seed, teams are gunning for you. It's very hard. That's why Atlanta was able to sneak a couple on us because we like, okay, we got them, but they snuck some more because people gonna play their hardest against the top teams. You know what I'm saying?
So keep it real. Do you think they top 3 because they got Mitchell Robinson? Keep it real.
No.
Because I don't see it.
No. Watch this, KP. I just want to say that you watch this, K. Look, when you see Jaylen Brown without Jason Tatum and a bunch of role players and firemen and shiremen or whoever it is and all of them boys, listen, they was the second seed. So
it was a different East, though.
That's fair. That's fair. But I think the Cleveland Cavaliers I think they took a step back though, where Philly can replace them at 4. You know what I'm saying? So
man,
I don't see Philly jumping Detroit. I don't even think Detroit gonna be in the top 3. But I'm not gonna just put Philly up. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I think Detroit lost their defense by sending away all them players, and Durant's not happy. I think they changed for offense. Yeah, I think they changed for offense because they felt like, okay, we need some more offense in the playoffs. They realized that. But what they did was they sacrificed offense for defense, and Detroit normally hangs their hat on their defense. So I don't think Detroit's going to be that relevant. They're going to be good. I think Indiana's going to try to come in and say something at like 5 or 6. You know what I mean? Halliburton looks really healthy. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not a fan of him and Cade Cunningham. I'm not. So I think they're trash. But they're just tall guards at their position, and they do it well. You know what I mean?
Man, I think Boston is trash, and I think Boston ain't. Listen,
Boston.
they gonna get
KP. You act like I like. You know how we. I cannot.
I'm telling you, they gonna be like 10th seed in the playing tournament, maybe 9th. and they gonna lose the first game. That's what I think.
Let's
And
do
then
a
when they lose,
let's do a friendly wager, me and you, on that.
wait,
A friendly
hold on.
wager.
I'm not betting on another team, dog.
It's all gonna benefit you. If I win the bet, I gotta buy some merch. I gotta buy a merch with the bet. So that's all it is.
I don't want to bet for Boston, dog. Like, this not my team. You know what I mean?
No. I'm not betting. We both. So I'm thinking that they're gonna win. I'm thinking that they're gonna be up there as far as like the third seed. I don't see them being second seed, but I see them being like maybe second. I don't know. If Kawhi go to Toronto, I don't know, bro. Like, this styles make fights, man. Just because Philly look good on paper don't mean that they're gonna turn out good. You know what I mean? And when it comes down to it, LeBron is not the old LBJ, man.
No, I mean, we did the members only show on it. We was talking about LeBron ruining, earlier today.
Damn.
And one of the things that we were saying is that because he wants to be the man. You know what I'm saying? Like, he wants to be the, and that's a problem. Like, I never thought he would do that. I thought he would go in like humble, like.
Nah, bro. He looking at Jaylen Brown as being weak. He's not weak, but weak was to him. Like, in other words, like he feels like he can trump the alpha on that team.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't think he's gonna allow. Like, I think he would concede to Embiid if Embiid, but Embiid's skill set, like, not his skill set, but his play is not like it used to be, right? So Embiid can't bark and do all that he used to do. But I think with Jaylen Brown, I feel like he can take over that team with Jaylen Brown's the leader of that team. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, they're gonna have issues, man. But we'll see. But I don't got Boston in the playoff. But I appreciate you, Ty, man. Big time.
Absolutely, my guy. All right, man.
All right. I just want to also, like, really quickly. I know I'm not a Pistons fan, but the narrative that the Pistons don't have defense, I definitely disagree with that. I mean, they still got the same bench players, but they added Isaiah Joe, who plays defense, right? They got Taurean Prince, who plays defense. They got John Collins, who's better than what's the brother from New York they had? Tobias Harris, right? They still got Jenkins, right? They got Paul Reed, who was putting in work. You talk about beef stew. Give me Paul Reed over beef stew any day. They still got Javonte Green, who plays defense. So they still got all of their defensive players. Y'all saying they lost their defense because they lost beef stew. Right now, I think Duran is just going to go back on the qualifying offer. So he will be a Piston. Now, will that lead to him getting out of there or getting traded? Possibly. That will hurt them. So if they lose out on this brother here, Duran, if they lose out on him, all of this will come crashing down. Because I don't think that, even though I like Paul Reed, they don't really have another center. Well, John Collins could play some 5, but they will need that brother to be there. It's not my business, but I don't think the Pistons is as bad as y'all making them out to be if they can fix the problem with Duran. Now, if they can't fix the problem with Duran, they definitely gonna be cooked, because who are you gonna get in the trade for Duran? That's gonna be the next joke. So now you probably gonna have to give him the qualifying offer if no one else offers him a contract, and then 1 year rental, or you may even have to trade him during the year. I don't know, but that's what's holding Detroit back. But I disagree with the narrative that they don't have defense. I want to talk about Carmelo Anthony. All right. And, a lot of you guys don't like Melo because, he didn't win the championship, or he messed the team up because he wanted to get traded to New York. I'm working on a panel for that show, by the way, about Melo and whether or not he ruined the Knicks. I'm working on that panel. But Melo, who is a podcaster, and now with the 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, he had something that I thought that was really interesting to say about Jalen Brunson. Let me play the soundbite for you. I thought that this was pretty interesting. So a lot of people have so much things to say about Jalen Brunson and the sacrifice, no sacrifice. They want to put quotes on the sacrifice. Who started that movement of discounting the sacrifice? I feel like it was somebody at ESPN. But this right here, this topic that Melo's talking about, I think is very important, very crucial. All right, I clicked the wrong link. Make sure I got the right link. Okay, I don't. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I got it. All right. What the hell? All right. I'm not seeing the link, so I gotta do a quick search. But Melo, I want to play the audio instead of reading it because I feel like the audio gives a lot of fresh perspective. Okay, I got Shaq. Okay. Thought I had the audio. Guess I don't. Hold on. Let me pull it up in the quick search. But salute to Carmelo Anthony, man. He's doing his thing. He has one of the better podcasts online. And I appreciate what he brings to the table because one thing I'm gonna say about Carmelo Anthony is I feel like he actually watches basketball. Man, where the hell I put this link at? This is crazy, bro. I just had it. Literally. All right, hold on. Let me try getting it here. I just had it. I don't know where I had it at, man. I gotta do a better job of storing my links, man. Wow. I can't find it nowhere. This is a huge disappointment, man. All right, 1 second. Salute to Melo though, man. He scored 62 points. Has the Garden record. Man, I'm doing so much to find this link. I don't know what happened, bro. Let's see if I can get it here. I can't get the link. I don't know where it's at, bro. Wow, this is crazy. I'm sorry, y'all. So basically, he was talking about endorsements and the thought process that you could get money on the back end. Thought I had the link. I don't know where is that. I got every other quote that I don't need, but the quote that I do need is disappeared somewhere. Missing in action. Wow. Okay. But that's what the quote was an allusion to, just like Jalen Brunson's sacrifice, right? And there's been a lot of like conflicting information on the sacrifice. And the thing that's the most craziest to me is you have people out there that really don't think that the brother sacrificed. Like, it's insane to me. I'm trying to find it one more time. Okay, I got it right here. Bet. Man, I don't know why I couldn't find this sooner. My bad, y'all. But I'm playing it now.
Is he getting that on the back end? Because you've been a Knick legend.
So Paul George is asking about Jalen Brunson's contract, right? So let's listen.
Is he getting that on the back end? Because you've been a Knick legend.
I'm not doing it. I'm just saying
from a. I know he left 113 on the table, but I know when he moving around New York, he ain't paying for shit. You know what I mean? Like, as a New York legend,
Hey, I agree with that. Jalen Brunson is not paying for nothing. Salute to Jalen Brunson. That's a fact. But Melo off the rip said, I'm not doing that. Now, a lot of people, I feel, probably would take shots at Melo like, oh, look at you, you're selfish. I didn't look in the comments and nothing, so I don't know what people are saying about that one quote. But I agree with Melo. First off, no superstar has done that before. As much as they're trying to devalue what Jalen Brunson did, the truth of the matter, especially in the second apron era, the only reason why we were able to get the pieces and operate under the apron the way we have been was because of Jalen Brunson. Oh, well, Brunson, you know, he would have had to wait the next year and it ended a year early. So what? The same rule would apply if he would have signed the 4-year or the 5-year, $267 million deal, or 270 whatever $million deal. He could have got out a year earlier and then renewed the contract for a higher amount of money for the record. So I'm gonna play more.
I mean, like, as a New York legend, he established as a legend already in New York. Is he making that back up on the back end?
Off the court?
Off
you mean
the,
a back
off
end
the court, moving around?
Yeah.
Like,
that's a good question. What the hell is the back end? Yeah, we're going to make that back off the back end. What does that mean? Because the back end, to me, in business, I thought it was the second half of the payment. The back end of the deal. That's what I thought. You know, I used to throw parties. I used to throw showcases. So, like, you know, there would be an upfront fee, and then you pay the rest, you know, at the end of the night, right? The deposit, and then you paid the rest. You know, you also had bar guarantees. You know, there was different ways to work out deals with venues. So if I'm just trying to figure out what the hell is the back end, what does that mean? On the back end, you're going to get it back. No, you can't. I'm going to get to that in a second.
113, obviously, that's a lot.
Listen.
To
you
make
can't make 113 million
Facts,
off
but I'm
the
saying
court.
it's
Hey, did you hear what Melo just said? I think that's a bar. You can't make 113 million off the court. Now, let me explain and give caveats, because yes, there are people who's making more than that in endorsement deal. I feel like what he's trying to say is that the money that you're going to get outside will not equate to the money that you left on the table, nor can it replace the money that was on the table. That's what Melo was trying to say.
Incentive.
Like people's busting their ass out there and ain't making 113 million off the court. Right. And I'm talking about people who's been off the court or off the field for years and years, who are the biggest stars out there. They not.
The biggest stars out there are not generating that money off the court. All right?
Making 100 off the court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So that right there is different. He's making something. He should be making something, right? 113 to make that up on the back end is crazy.
113 to make that up on the back end is crazy. Let me give Melo some backup. You ready for the backup, Melo? I got you, big dog. Here's the backup. The backup is this, and I mentioned this before, but everybody is not regular viewers or repeat viewers, so some of you guys may have seen this information for the first time. By the way, all you have to do, if you're not subscribed, subscribe so you'll be a part of the movement, right? I'm here every day, sometimes twice a day. So all you have to do is subscribe and smash that bell icon and then hit that like button. Let me get right back to it. Bam. So look, this is what I'm talking about in terms of not getting it back. All right. And I'm gonna do the math so simple for you. It's very, very easy, not hard, not at all. Here's what we mean when we say we can't get it back. If you look at his salary, you're talking about 22% of the cap. this is what Jalen Brunson is getting paid. His max was 30% of the cap. So that means he missed out on 8% or just under 8%, just under 8%, 7%. Do you see that? Just under 8%, just under 8%, about 7%. There's no way in these 3 years he can make up the 7% losses. There's no way he's getting that back. That money is gone. Because this would have been 30, 30, 30. Now, 30% of the cap, hold on. I got the math for you if you want to know it. Hold on, give me 2 seconds. All right, we'll do 30%. We're going to go to 2025 because I don't remember what the salary cap was then. All right, so the salary cap was 140. 30% of 140 is... I'm just going to go to the calculator. I was about to actually divide that and do old school math. I'm not doing that tonight. Let me just go to my calculator and figure that out. All right. So we can understand the amount of money that Jalen Brunson, he left on the table. All right. Cool. Let me get my calculator and we can do the math the right way. Because people think that, yeah, man, he's just going to get it back. I just want to show you simple math. All right, so I'm going to do 140 divided by 3. All right. Damn. Sorry, hold on. Do it like this. 30% of 140. All right. Yeah, that's 40. Okay, I got it. So you're talking about $40 million. All right. That would have been starting. So his first contract would have started there, and then you would just bring it up. You could bring it up 6%. That would be the trick every year. That would be his number. All right. So this was his cap hit. This would have, instead of $24 million, he left about $16 million on the table, y'all. Right? Do you see this? If you add the $16 million, the Knicks would have been well above the second apron. Do y'all see that? This was back in 2025. There's no way Jalen Brunson can get this money back. So his sacrifice was so we can operate under the second apron while still continuing to build a championship team. And then you just add 6% from there. All right. So I don't want to do all that math. The bottom line is you're talking roughly $16 million a year he left on the table. All right. If you want to just go through all the numbers, that he'll never get this money back. So this is what Melo was talking about, that there is no back end where you get $113 million off the court. I think Jalen Brunson is going to be a billionaire, but he's still not going to get back the $113 million unless you want to say, well, part of the reason why he got the money was because he became a champion. That was the Knicks' way of getting the championship. If the Knicks would have let Jalen Brunson go because they wouldn't pay him the $42 million deal that he would have got, which still would have been less than Towns, is because Towns is at the 35% max. All right. All right. I digress. Let me come out of here. All right. And you could just go down the list if you want. That was 24, 25. You could go 26. Same thing. You see the percentage of money he's leaving on the table. It's a lot of money. All right. A lot of money. All right. And by the way, too, I just thought of something. That percentage of the cap counts for that year that you signed it. That's another reason. So that's another reason why you want to get out of the contract fast so you can sign 35% at a higher cap sooner. Anyway, I digress though. It's just too much math. And then also, look, if I really wanted to be petty, I could tell you all the money that he lost, right? I don't want to do that. You're talking about well over $16 million a year and of money that he won't get back. He does get the opportunity to opt in sooner, but think about it. The same would have been on the inverse, because if he opts in at the 35% a year sooner, then that following year, 35% would have been a higher 35% because it would have been at a higher cap. No matter how you cut it, goddamn it, I'm great with math. It's the same amount of money. Hey, so when they try to trick you out of your shoes and say that Jalen Brunson didn't sacrifice nothing, all you got to do is say, yo, the objective fan did the math with us. He put the numbers on the board. Jalen Brunson's losing about $16 million a year. Even if he would have came in early, he still would have got more money when he signed the other deal for a year later at a higher percentage of the cap. Hopefully what I'm saying makes sense. Because it's not easy. It's simple, but it's not easy.
So again, I don't know the logic and the thinking behind why he did it.
So that was what Melo had to say about the back end. This whole idea that Brunson's going to get the money back. He's not getting the money back. Whoever told that to you, they lied to you. It doesn't work like that. All right? So if you want to call up to talk about it, we can. But I also want to say this, man. Salute to Jalen Brunson. You are Neo in the Matrix. And I'm going to be the one to make sure that they put respect on your name. Because I feel like it's very important that Jalen Brunson gets the respect on his name. Because a lot of people are talking ill of this man. I mean, he's done a lot for the New York Knicks in such a short period of time. We getting ready to have a panel discussion on is Jalen Brunson the greatest Knick of all time? And he only been here for 4 years. And he's already a Finals MVP, NBA Cup MVP, Eastern Conference Finals MVP. And none of these star players could understand in their mind, soul, their heart, mind, body, and soul why he sacrificed the money that he sacrificed. And Melo off the rip said he was not doing it. So I just thought that that was an interesting perspective by PG and Melo. And PG trying to act like he a reporter trying to get information. PG know everything what Melo talking about. Because PG is still in the league. And he's on the verge of having to do a well, if you want to call it a sacrifice. I don't know if you want to call it a sacrifice. But he has $64 million owed to him next year. If you want to see it, I'll show it to you. So Paul George has $64 million due to him next year. All right. Now, will the Celtics pay him that money? I don't know. All right. Hold on. Oh, wait. Okay, my bad. A stat check, fact check myself. $56 million. I thought it was 64. Hold on. Okay. So it's $56 million. Okay, that's what, well, he's only taxed at 32%. So, okay, so he left some money on the table, Paul George. Or was that the max at the time? I don't know. I got to look into Paul George's contract because, oh, I can't see the older contracts. Okay, cool. It would have been nice to see what this contract was here. Okay, but so, okay, so, okay. So they did it so that way the increase isn't as great. I didn't realize that. I thought it was 64 million. And I thought he was at 57 this year. Then he went up to 64. Oh, okay. I guess I stand corrected. This is why I go to research mode. Either way, the Celtics are going to look to get him out of this deal right here. This right here, they going to get him to opt out and then try to give him a 3-year deal. Either way, this is just nasty work. I digress. And out of curiosity, what is Brown's contract? I know I saw 60-something million somewhere. Okay, so Brown got the 61 million. Okay. And Brown signed, okay, I see it. So yeah, Brown's at the 35%. His 65 kicks in 2 years. Okay. All right, I get it. I see it now. So maybe I was looking at him when I thought the 64. I'm just trying to figure out where the hell I got that from. But even off the rip, even if Paul George doesn't take less money next year, they still save about $4 million. So, you know, that's pretty interesting in itself. Got my man Tugboat on the call back. What's good, Tugboat?
What's up, man? I don't like it. I try to marinate on it, but I don't like it.
You don't like what?
I don't like the Melo angle, man. I like everything that you're saying. I just don't like Melo's angle.
I know everybody gonna kill. I knew it.
Nah, it's just I ain't gonna kill him. Once a Nick, always Nick. I love Melo, but I mean, both of those guys are the same guys. Like not player wise, but the same guys. They're not. They care more about the dip than the chip, man. Or excuse me, they care more about the drip than the chip. They're drip chasers, bro. They want the bag. They don't want the rings.
Can I be devil's advocate for the brothers?
So
No champion, you could go back as far as you want, has sacrificed bread, bro. They all got paid the super duper max. So
yeah.
Let's not act like if you sacrifice, you get the chip. That's something.
No. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that what Brunson did is a prerequisite to get the chip. I'm just saying, to pop out and be like, yeah, I'm not doing that, and there's no way to make that money back.
No, it's gone.
But you just said it though. Brunson's gonna be a billionaire.
Right.
So what's 113 million to a billion?
It would be an additional 113 on top of that billion. Because he's still the same marketable guy.
Right.
That's not going to change. And to say that, oh, well, we won the championship because of the sacrifice, perhaps. Maybe we would have been doomed by the second apron, but we could have won into the second apron the way Boston did and won the championship and then been screwed after that. But at least you got the championship, and that still would have led to Brunson getting his bag, you know? So
then that means you're downplaying the sacrifice, because you're saying sacrifice or not, we would have still did it.
No, I'm just saying that, no. I'm not trying to downplay the sacrifice. I'm just saying that Jalen Brunson, even if he would have got the max deal, that he still would have got the same off the court, whatever you want to give him. I don't think that would have stopped. That's all I'm trying. I'm not trying to say no.
But
the sacrifice was what saved the franchise, the longevity of the franchise, because we wouldn't be able to operate this long.
All right. What? And I mean, like, because the word, I mean, I'm gonna just answer before I ask the question, because the answer is priceless. Because what is the value of a championship that he brought to the city? It's priceless.
Yeah.
So that in itself, that's what I mean. Like, he brings the chip. This dude ain't got to buy an umbrella for the rest of his life. Like, he's good. He ain't got to spend no money in the city. And everybody's talking about endorsements. You know, endorsements is cool. That's a great way to. But there's so many revenues of income.
Yeah. Partnerships, joint ventures,
investments. Yeah, investors, venture capitalism, and he's in the hub. He's right off Wall Street.
He's right there.
He's right there, and like I said, he made Wall Street a lot of money in this playoff series.
That's a
Do you
fact.
know how much these Wall Street guys, they're legal gamblers? So you don't think they was on DraftKings? You don't think they had bookies? For real, I'm serious. Like, you don't think these guys won millions of dollars? The fact that the Knicks ain't lose, how many games? 14, 15? How many games did we not lose?
Man, we won 15 out of the last 16 games.
Come on, man. So he's more than good. I get it, Melo. I get it. But it's a different league, and that's the thing that keeps coming with these older players. And I always appreciate them, but they always go into the money and try to equate it to when they was in it. But it's like inflation, bro. The bag is different now. The bag is way different. Is it not?
Yeah. Yeah, the bag is. See, my beef is with the owners and the middle classes who suffers, not the star players. The poor and the middle class. This is why look at all the guys that's remaining. You know, there's a lot of people like a Cam Thomas who is a 20-point scorer. He can't even get an exception contract.
And that's because of well, we know that's
it's the
because
trickle down effect. It's a trickle. Brunson is the only superstar that's not 35%. Everybody else is 35%, unless they're rookies on rookie scale. But everybody is at 35%, bro. So,
but that's
Brunson is the anomaly.
Exactly, but I think once again it's another way to switch the bag up, because 35% of league money. But when you diversify your portfolio, he's just saying, yo, I'm not putting my main income source, I'm not gonna have it as NBA money.
No, but you could. But we're saying that even if you do that, you lost that money because that's outside money. Like you can't get that 7% back just because you signed a deal, because you more than likely would have signed that same deal. That's what he's trying. And also another thing he's saying too, like don't believe the hype. A lot of this off the court money is not the same. Most players are not LeBron. LeBron is a rarity. Steph Curry and LeBron are 2 players out of 300 and something. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
so
all right.
everybody's not going to have that
Let's do
same
that then.
level of
Let's play
success.
the anomaly game. Brunson is basketball royalty, is he not?
That's a fact.
Held in the arms by Leon before his own father.
Yep.
Tibbs raised his dad's in the NBA. He's basketball royalty, so he's an anomaly in itself.
Right.
And he came from money. A lot of these players don't come from money.
Mm-hmm.
So that's we talk about wealth all the time. That's how you acquire wealth. When the money is older than you.
Right. But could we agree that Brunson is his story is unique to him and no one else could do what he did? Because one, no one has the connection he has to Leon Rose.
Right.
Like most GMs, you don't know these people. You probably don't even like them. They probably looking at you like, you just, you're another forward. Go ahead over there.
And that's what I'm saying. You don't think Leon Rose is connected? You don't think Leon Rose is not saying, yo, we'll get you endorsements, but trust me, there's a lot of ways to get this money out here in the city.
Let me put that discdisclaimer up there. We don't know what's going on with it.
I'm talking legally. I'm talking legally. Like there's many ways to get this money out here. And in New York City, you think the only way to get money? I mean, you from the city, bro. Y'all the city of hustlers. You think the only way that an NBA player can get money is through Nike?
Well,
it's
the opinions
Donuts,
of
it's through Allstate.
The opinions of Tugboat does not represent. Just in case something comes up, I don't want the.
Oh, I'm
back over here.
Like, bro, you can invest in real estate. Though I just typed in the dude. What's buddy name?
But Tugboat, here's the problem. They gotta really specify what cap circumvention is, because all of that to me sounds like cap circumvention. I got plugs over here. Sign with me for the minimum, but I got plugs over here to get you more money. That sounds like some illegal stuff. And I think, honestly, Tugboat, what you're saying is part of the fight right now, or the debate that they're having with the Clippers.
So he can't invest in real estate like every other player. When we look at he's coming to the Knicks.
No, of course, no, of course. But when your owner and the organization is putting you onto that, how much of that can be deemed as cap circumvention? Like, I got an investor over here. How shady do we get? Because look, all right, we going to invest in this property. We going to buy it for this, but we going to sell it for this. What if I know the guy who going to buy it, and I let the guy know that, hey, yo, you going to buy it for this, and I'm going to give this to Jay. You feel what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of like, I get what you're saying.
No, you made it messy. That's not what I was saying.
I know, but it could become messy when you have organizations doing the referring to outside business. And I think the league is going to have to specify that in this next CBA, because this Kawhi Leonard case is going to be very important.
But that was
very important.
This ain't a Kawhi thing. I'm not talking a Kawhi thing. Well, because the Kawhi thing was what? It was a fraudulent company, right? That never existed?
No, the company existed, but it basically, it's on the investigate. I don't want to, according to Pablo Torre, just in case they want to come and say so. Pablo Torre specified that the deal that Kawhi Leonard wasn't required to do anything for the deal. It was like we sponsored him, but he never had to shoot commercials. This is according to Pablo. All right. Mm-hmm. And it was just a deal on paper that looked a certain way. And the only reason why we were able to find out about it was because the company went bankrupt. So yes, the company was a real company, but we would have never known about it had the bank, because when you go bankrupt, that's when everything gets revealed.
Yeah, see, that's
and you
messy.
Get to see.
Yeah,
it's a lot of mess.
I'm not talking like that for Brunson, bro. I'm just talking about legitimate investments, bro.
But when but here's the problem with investments, right? Remember, nothing is guaranteed. So if I'm trying to fix the investment or fix the business dealing to be beneficial to the player, just because I want to get this star to come to my team, they're gonna have to. The league got work to do. They gotta if something was at fault right now with the Clippers did, then that paperwork has to be right, man. But I appreciate you, Tugboat, on the pushback and the callback, man.
All right, brother.
No doubt.
All right, man.
Big time salute. I should have started with the damn mellow conversation. Because the mellow conversation to me is definitely, you know, more dynamic. Because, you know, a lot of y'all don't even like Melo anyway. You blame Melo for the destruction of the Knicks. So, but I thought he was saying a lot of real information, you know. What's good, Figgy?
What's up? What's up, Karan? What's up, chat? What's going on, guys?
Nothing much, man. We just having a discussion about Carmelo Anthony now, and what he had to say about Brunson's sacrifice. I'm not sure if that's what you want to talk about, but
yeah,
where you want to go?
Yeah, I'm gonna say it. I don't like it. I wish Carmelo Anthony would watch his slick mouth because I do like him. But, you know, he likes to poke his nose in the garden. He likes to always show up at MSG in his courtside seats and stand up and get his little round of applause. He better watch it before he ends up having to hang out in LA. Because, you know, like Josh Hart said, Melo, Draymond, yo, why don't we normalize grown men staying out of grown men's business, grown men's finances? This is weird. This is getting weird. You know, Jalen Brunson went and bought himself a championship. That is what he bought himself. And I will stand by that because the sacrifice that he made is why we were able to keep OG and trade for Cat. No OG, no Cat, no championship. Those are facts. What were we were going to go and make a run for the championship playing with Julius Randle, a small ball? Is that what we were going to do, fam? We were going to keep, because what else? We lost Isaiah Hartenstein. We didn't have any other options.
Right.
Leon did what he wanted to do. A lot of Knicks fans were upset when we traded Dante, even more so than Julius Randle. More people were salty about Dante because they wanted to keep the Nova Knick thing together. So Jalen made a sacrifice, and he also made a sacrifice emotionally because he loves Dante. That's like that was the best man at his wedding, man. He made a sacrifice. Nobody talks about when Tom Brady's out here making sacrifices so that they can sign Randy Moss and all these other guys. What did Tom Brady do? He bought himself Lombardi trophies, right? And now he's the GOAT. Well, Jalen's on the same path. He's on the same path. We're gonna go back to back. Everybody in the chat knows it. After what we all witnessed this postseason, tell me one team in the league that did anything that makes you think that we're not going to go back and do the same thing all over again. If not more, we're going to be more dominant because Mike Brown has all these ideas and all these plans for things. We're going to run it. I mean, I'm telling you, we're going to run it through Cat a little bit more. I do believe we might see a little more OG featured, Mikhail's wingspan type stuff. He's going to run offenses that we have never seen in the league and no one's expecting.
Right.
So Jalen is buying himself a dynasty. And we don't know how much his father's making. You don't know what kind of deals were done that say, look, we'll keep your father on for this amount. We'll do certain, Jalen's taking care of his family and taking care of himself and his legacy. I'm all for it, man. I'm good with it. And Melo needs to chill out. Look, maybe he was not going to be able to make that much money in endorsements on the back end, but Jalen can and will. I have no doubt about it. He's a much more marketable player. He's much more team friendly. He's much more marketable. He's just a better guy to be the face of the league. And I've told you my reasons why. Yo, Knicks in 5. Let's go, man. I appreciate you, Karan.
Big time salute, Figgy. All right. Hey, I feel. Okay, we just got an update on Mo Diawary's finger. All right, yeah, we talk about that tomorrow. Okay. Anyway, I appreciate what Figgy had to say. I think though that this is a little different from Draymond because one, he was asked a question about would he he was asked a question about Brunson, sacrifice or whatever. And he said he wouldn't do it, right? He also, I think what makes it different is he also didn't say what Brunson should do and shouldn't do. He explained how most people's back end situation, means. But I do agree that Brunson is not getting that money back. I think that that's a narrative that you just say to make you feel good. That $16 million a year is gone. And the future monies that you make is yet to even be spoken about. But when you look at the 30% he would have gotten, he's not getting that anymore, unfortunately. Even if you want to use the argument, let me see if I could pull this up really quickly. Because I thought about all rebuttals, man. I didn't get a chance to finish that article, but I'm thinking about all the rebuttals. So even if you say, well, this deal here had a option on it. I just don't remember what it was. I don't know. I don't remember what the option was. It probably was a little less than this, maybe $30 million. I don't know. So that's $4 million on the table. And then he would have got the 4 years of 30%. And still the 4 years of the 30% outweigh this. And then when he would have got the 35%, it would have been higher than this 35%, which means that deal would have been big. Anyway, no matter how you cut it. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't have the screen shared. I was talking about this deal here. The last year, this deal, I can't remember if it was 29, 30 million. This one started at 34. That's 4 million. But remember, it starts at 30% here. So now you're getting 30%, 30%, right? And then 30%. And then you opt out here for a higher 35%. That's all I was trying to say. Anyway, nonetheless, it's just too much math for technicalities. The bottom line of what I'm saying is that Jalen Brunson definitely missed out on that bread. Right? He's not getting it back. But here's another thing, and this is the problem that I have. People are making it seem like if you don't sacrifice, you don't want to win. I think that that's not a fair assessment. Brunson is the only one to sacrifice. Okay? Now, will this be the blueprint for the future? The only way for us to know it, Knicks fans, is for somebody else to win the championship. And then that other team who wins it, whether it be Wemby, right? Even though Wemby's so-called sacrifice, we'll see if it's we'll get the definitive answer at the end of this season as to whether or not it was a sacrifice. That's why I want to finish. I got to finish this article before the season starts because I just want to seem like a prophet. This ego talk. Anyway, nonetheless, bottom line is the other potential champions have players who did not sacrifice money. So Brunson, I don't think, is the example because of his connection to Leon Rose. Not every GM can do what Leon Rose has done. So if you think I'm going to go into an office and say, I'm going to sacrifice $100 million for some GM who doesn't even know what the hell they're doing, I don't think that that's a recipe that you can duplicate across the league. Now, everybody sacrifices. I don't see that being a world of success for everyone, right? But Brunson is Brunson. You can't see, like, that's another thing. When you become the champions, people want to make you be like, it's like, I want to be like Mike. So now everybody wants to be like Brunson. The reality is you can't be like Mike. You can't jump and dunk like Mike. You can't shoot like Mike. You ain't got Mike swag. You ain't got Mike sweet sneakers. Same way. You're not 6'2" like Brunson and Cole. You're not the best clutch player in the world, right? You don't have the JB mentality or the Mamba mentality. You don't have none of that. You don't have the connection to Leon Rose. You don't have a Leon Rose. You cannot copy what Jalen Brunson has done. So I wouldn't make that as the barometer or the standard or say, well, if this player didn't sacrifice, then they wouldn't have won the championship when most of the champions don't sacrifice money. And it's a shame that the players have to sacrifice money. and the owners just get all the bags. I have a problem with that. There's an imbalance in the system. So no, it won't be the stars. It's going to be the middle class. How many guys in free agency right now that should have at least exception money or some sort of money? I'm just saying, you know, they got to do something about the system. I don't agree with the system. I don't believe in the system. It's jacked up. And I think there's going to be a lockout.
Yo,
But
yo,
anyway,
yo.
what's good, Trey? How you feeling, brother?
What's up, my boy? Let me hold on. Let me turn it. I don't want the feedback, you know. Yo,
No
man,
doubt.
look. Okay. I got a few things I want to say, but before I talk crazy, could you hit me, pause. Could you retell me what did Draymond Green do, and what did Melo do? Because they spoke, and what did they say?
Well, Draymond was saying that Brunson shouldn't have sacrificed. Josh Hart should have sacrificed. That's what Draymond said. Melo
Wow.
said that he wouldn't sacrifice, and there's no money on the back end. That's what Melo said. So,
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
All right. See, now, first of all, Draymond, you was only out of line because you said Josh Hart should have
Right.
sacrificed. You out of line.
Exactly.
Because I was going to give Draymond some bail. Like, yo, he talking as a nigga who done won a few of them rings. So,
Right.
you know, he just, you know, he done won it already. But to
Right.
say Josh Hart should have sacrificed was disrespectful.
That's crazy. Yeah, that was crazy.
Then the fact that you got your rings already, and how dare you talk about what JB should have. Listen, man, what JB did ain't nobody gonna do in life.
No.
Seriously. That's
Can't
why
duplicate
JB, that's why he could walk through NYC with $20 million in jewelry on. Ain't nobody gonna
himself.
touch him. Yes,
Nobody
by
gonna touch him.
himself. Nah, for real, because ain't nobody doing that. But I don't like when
Facts.
people speak on it now that he did it and was successful. Nah, I wouldn't have. Like, yo, man, like, just mind your business. Us as Knicks fans, we love the fact that he did that. But, yo, Melo, I'm not mad at you. All he said was, I wouldn't have did it. I thought he said
Yeah.
something else.
No.
'Cause I had
He
more-
did. And he was explaining the way the back end works, supposedly. The back end. That was it.
Nah, yeah, because, like, you already know, like, in the league, once you had that opportunity, and it's like, yo, you can get 20 a year. You don't, you end up like Dennis Schroeder. Remember when Dennis Schroeder could have got the bag?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, right, it go like that.
Right.
Like, the league do the same Fat Joe to you. Like, pause, like, yo, yesterday and today's price. I'm not
That's a
paying you
fact.
15. I'm not paying you 30. I'll give you 8.
Talk about it. Talk about it.
You know what I'm saying? So, but JB, man, us, you know what? We ain't even got to, yo, everybody can say what they want to say. Us as New York fans, we like, yo, JB, thank you. I don't know
That's
why
a
you
fact.
did that, though. JB, I don't know why. What he left on the table? 80? What he left on the table?
No, 113.
No, I
Had
know
he
you
waited the
effing
next
lying.
113, had he waited the following year, 267 or 270, whatever it was, and then he signed the 160. Next year would have been it's major.
And yo, bro, and he did that and was like, you know, I just want to play with my guys. There's no guarantee because he ain't know, like, yo,
Exactly.
we could win it. Like, yo, you know, like, damn.
It's a huge risk because what happens if you lose?
If you lose, then it's a lose-lose. I lost a buck.
It's a big loss. I lost a buck and my teammates, and I'm never getting it back.
Well, yo, he gonna get it back off some type of pause, some type of back end, some type of way. Plus, you know, I hope his business, you know, is together. You know,
Well,
I'm
yeah,
sure he
all
got.
that's gonna be good. Yeah, all that's gonna
Yeah,
be. I
man.
think he'll be a billionaire for sure. I think he's gonna be a billionaire. I think he's straight.
And last but not least,
Yeah.
I think like forever he should be embedded in the Knicks organization. Like,
Oh,
like you know,
100%.
even when he retires and everything, he should be, you know, like well taken care of. Pause.
Oh yeah.
Like
Oh
he-
yeah.
He left a buck on the table for us. Yo, you know, us as Knicks fans, I'm going to just hurry up. Come on, I already heard the time. Last but not least, us as Knicks fans, we always going to get mad when we hear, like, anybody, yo, I wouldn't have did that. We like, yo, stop bringing that up. Nigga, because
Right.
I don't want him thinking like that. I don't want, you know, like, chill. We won it. It was a
Exactly.
great sacrifice. Let's go, man. Knicks in 5. Knicks is
Thank you,
live.
man.
Good looking
Thank you,
for the
Trey.
callback, my boy.
No doubt. Yeah, I think that's the difference with Draymond is that he said what another man should do. See, Melo never said what Brunson should have done. He just said that I'm not doing that. And Melo is retired, and he's an analyst and a podcaster. He's not still in the league like Draymond. Draymond is messy in the league, talking about the league. That's weird to me. You know, I can't respect that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like what Draymond Green did was more out of line than what Melo did. What's good, J-Tap? What's good, my brother?
What's going on, Objective? It's good.
Nothing much, man. We talking about Melo. I should have started the show with this.
Yeah, that's why I was waiting on night for this. I was waiting on night for this topic.
Damn, my bad, bro.
Waiting patiently.
You know, I was trying to get more people in the building and enticing them, but that backfired.
That's all good.
What's your thoughts?
The people that count are here already. That's all that matters.
That's a fact.
Yeah, real quick. I just wish Melo would shut the F up. To me, personally, I'm not gonna say he ruined the Knicks, whatever, but the biggest difference between him and Jalen is that Jalen Brunson won, and I think that the playing style. Melo comes off as a selfish a-hole, you know what I mean, and it just seeps through his pores, and nobody likes it. For him, I don't think he can make the money up on the back end. And I think when they say back end, I think they use the term loosely. It's more of a slang than, you know, verbatim, like, oh, back end means this at the end of the contract. I think they mean make it on the back end outside of the actual contract or whatever. So I think they use that term kind of loosely. And I know Melo can't make the money on the back end because, you know, he wouldn't make a sacrifice for anything. And I give him some props for not going to Miami, you know, to join LeBron and them. But to me, the biggest difference between LeBron sacrificing or whatever and Melo sacrificing is that LeBron is doing it to win championships. Nobody can never argue that. They could talk about his attitude. He's a big baby. He's this, he's that. He's a corporation. He's a distraction. But he's doing it to win rings. Melo, he's doing it for the bread. Which I get. I mean,
Melo never sacrificed, by the way. So
never. I'm saying he never sacrificed money. He never sacrificed a shot, an extra dribble, some extra time on the bench. You know, he never sacrificed anything. And I think that's what led to him not being a champion. And to me, I think, like former Knicks, like the ones who haven't won anything, which is a lot, except for like Iman Shumpert, like people like that who left and won after. I think they're really salty. I think all the love they're showing, you know what I mean? I think it's kind of like, I'm not gonna say it's fake love, but I think it's ride the wave kind of love, you know what I mean?
Not Iman. Iman on the front lines, though.
That's what I'm saying, but he won. I'm saying people like him who won outside of New York, I'm not really counting people like him.
Oh, you're not counting? Gotcha.
Starks, Melo.
Come on.
You know, just kind of along for the ride. This kind of along for the championship ride. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. But Melo,
I disagree with that one. Come on, man. You and Kid.
I don't consider. I mean, he's a Knick, obviously, but I wouldn't even consider Melo a great Knickerbocker. You know what I mean?
5-time All-Star starter.
And that's fine.
As a Knick.
That's fine. But I still think he's a great. I still think he's an all-time great Knick. But again, that's just my personal opinion.
Oh, okay. All right. That's fair.
And so as far as the sacrifice thing, I think that had a lot to do with him not winning anything, because he really wouldn't do anything, sacrifice anything for the greater good of the team. And that's all I got for tonight.
Okay. Hey, man, thank you, J-Top.
Of course, peace.
All right. I think Melo's problem was. You want me to tell you the truth about Melo's problem? Melo's problem is he wasn't drafted by the Detroit Pistons, because had he been drafted by the Detroit Pistons, he probably would have more championships than LeBron. Like, let's not act like some players are more fortunate than others. Like, if I'm Chet Holmgren, I'm drafted by OKC. I got SGA and Jalen Williams right? Some players are just more fortunate than the others. You know, then you got players like I don't know, Chris Paul, you know, you got players that were, you know, talented players, but just never could win the championship. Basketball is a team game. I don't like putting it on just one player, even though we do that a lot. Like KD's a great player, you know. Is he the greatest? No. But I don't want to make it like, well, he's not a bus driver, so he's not a great player. It's very hard to win the championship. You know, and Melo, he stayed loyal to Denver. And that was the problem. He should have left Denver and went somewhere else. But he signed a 5-year deal. Wade and LeBron and them signed a 3-year deal. So that way they can opt out early and join forces. Well, I'm not saying that they knew all that time they would join forces, but I'm just saying it was an opportunity to say, well, if it doesn't work here, I'm going to go there. And then when Melo left, it was too late. So, you know, I get it, though. A lot of y'all don't like Melo. It's cool. You know, I'm not here to convince you to like Melo. I just feel as though, you know, Melo gave the realistic answer, and we could just go down the list of champions and just look at their contracts. Very few And by the way, LeBron's sacrifice was a couple of $1 million. It wasn't like he sacrificed hundreds of millions of dollars. It was a couple of $1 million just to make the salaries work for the big three in Miami. That was it. Outside of that, LeBron didn't sacrifice nothing. All right, for the record. You know, yeah, you have to sacrifice elements of your game, especially if you're playing with other great players. So you have to sacrifice shots, right? There is, you know, other ways to sacrifice to win a championship. And we've seen players do that before, where they sacrifice, you know, their game or whatever, for the greater good of the team. But yeah, y'all can take what you got to say about Melo. I'm definitely going to clip that. Because that's a fire take right there. I probably should have started with the Melo topic, but I think tonight was a good show. I'm going to be back tomorrow with the podcast for sure. Make sure you guys are there. I'm probably going to do it in the evening time. And now if something else breaks out, I might do an impromptu level-headed Knicks talk or something. We'll see about that, but I appreciate you guys. And until next time, as always, let's go Knicks.